Nelson Mandela was a South African freedom fighter who spent 27 years in freedom for opposing apartheid. After his release, he led peaceful negotiations to end racial segregation and became the country's first black president in 1994. Mandela is celebrated worldwide for his message for forgiveness, unity, and human dignity. Welcome to African Heritage Hub, the home of Africa's timeless history, heroes, and heritage. Step into the untold history of Africa, the stories before independence, the struggles that shaped nations, and the visionaries who dreamed of freedom. At African Heritage Hub, we uncover the lives of Africa's pioneers, explore rich cultures, and revive the powerful movements that built the continent's future. Every episode brings to light the forgotten chapters, celebrates true African heroes, and honors the spirit of resilience and hope that lives on today. History remembered, heritage celebrated, legacy preserved. New episodes every day. Subscribe and journey with us through Africa's timeless story. Nelson Mandela was born on 18th July 1918 in Mvezo, Eastern Cape, South Africa. His birth name was Rolihlahla Mandela, meaning troublemaker in Xhosa. Mandela was born into the Thembu royal family of the Xhosa people. His father, Gadla Henry, was a local chief and advisor to the Thembu king. After his father's death, Nelson was taken in by Chief Jongin Tamba in Kunu, where he received a traditional upbringing and was groomed for leadership. His English name, Nelson, was given to him by a missionary school teacher, reflecting the colonial education system at that time. Mandela attended Clarkbury Boarding Institute and later the prestigious Headstone Methodist School. He went on to study at the University of Fort Hare, but was expelled for participating in a student protest. He later completed his bachelor's through the University of South Africa and earned a law degree from the University of the Witwatersrand while working. In Johannesburg, Mandela was exposed to the harsh realities of apartheid. He joined the African National Congress (ANC) in 1944 and co-founded the ANC Youth League with Walter Sisulu and Oliver Tambo. Their goal was to adopt a more radical approach to fighting the racial injustice. Nelson Mandela married 3 times and had 6 children. The first wife was Evelyn Massey, who he married between 1944 to 1958. She was a nurse and a cousin to Walter Sisulu's wife. They had 4 children, but 2 died young. The marriage ended due to political strain and personal differences. The second wife, Winnie Madikizela Mandela, he married in 1958. Winnie was a social worker and an anti-apartheid activist. Together, they had 2 daughters. Winnie became an important figure in the liberation struggle, though their marriage was tested by Mandela's long imprisonment and her controversial political activities. They separated in 1992 and divorced in 1996. The third wife was Graca, who he married in 1998. Graca was the widow of Mozambican President Samora. They got married on Mandela's 80th birthday. Graca, who was a humanitarian and activist, was Mandela's companion in his later years and supported his global philanthropic efforts. Mandela's relationships reflected the toll that political struggle can take on personal life, yet he remained a dedicated father and grandfather, deeply valuing family. Mandela led campaigns of civil disobedience against discriminatory laws, notably the Defiance Campaign of 1952. He was also involved in the drafting of the Freedom Charter in 1955, which called for an unracial South Africa. The government increasingly viewed him as a threat. In 1961, he co-founded the ANC's armed wing, Umkhonto weSizwe, Spear of the Nation, which carried out acts of sabotage against state infrastructure, targeting symbols of oppression, not people. In 1962, Mandela was arrested and convicted of inciting worker strikes and leaving the country illegally. In 1964, he was sentenced to life imprisonment during the Rivonia trial for planning sabotage. Mandela spent 18 years on Robben Island, performing hard labor and enduring harsh conditions. 6 years at Portsmouth Prison and 2 years at Victor Verster Prison until his release in 1990. Despite being confined, Mandela became a global symbol of resistance. International campaigns for his release gained traction in the 1980s, uniting voices around the world. On 11 February 1990, after 27 years, Mandela walked free. He resumed leadership of the ANC and began negotiations with President de Klerk's government to end apartheid peacefully. His focus was not revenge, but reconciliation. He led South Africa through a fragile period, working tirelessly to avoid civil war and promote peaceful transformation. In April 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections. Millions of people voted, many for the first time. The ANC won overwhelmingly, and Mandela was inaugurated as the country's first black president on May 20, 1994. During his presidency, Mandela focused on national reconciliation, economic development, establishing a new democratic constitution, and launching the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to confront the horrors of apartheid. Mandela chose to serve only one term and stepped down in 1999, earning respect globally for his humility. He then focused on philanthropy. He founded the Nelson Mandela Foundation, promoting peace, education, and HIV/AIDS awareness. He also became the global activist for children's rights and justice. He remained a respected voice of moral authority around the world, often referred to affectionately as Madiba, his clan name. His legacy and recognition. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1990 by President de Klerk. The Mandela Day, which is celebrated on July 18th and is an international day of service. He is also honored with monuments, streets, and institutions named after him globally. Mandela's leadership style, based on Ubuntu, I am because we are, is still cited in diplomacy and conflict resolution worldwide. Nelson Mandela died on 5th December 2013 at the age of 95 in Johannesburg after a long illness. He was given a state funeral, attended by world leaders, and buried in his ancestral home of Kunu. He left behind a world that had been profoundly shaped by his life's work, a world reminded of the power of dignity, compassion, and unwavering resolve. Thank you for watching. Let's keep Africa's story alive, one legend at a time. Another story told, another legacy remembered. This is African Heritage Hub, honoring the spirit of Africa. See you soon.